Okay, this Sean Quill Yah One Vision Ministry. Um, I'm gonna be getting ready for work soon, so I want to hit this real quick and brief. Abba Yah, thank you for this opportunity. Let your will be done on earth as is in the Shamayim. Yada Yahuwah. Okay, so what I want to deal with real quick is this whole thing dealing with the new covenant. So many people are teaching that we are in the new covenant now, and that's just period. Not that we're starting or that we're entering, but we're in the new covenant. So I want to just address some things and let's go. I want to go in here real quick. Just want to go in here. So let me share my screen and I want to share my screen. Let me see. I'm going to get over here to what is a specific verse. So I'm cherry picking for a minute just to hit a specific verse that's dealing with the new covenant. And so that's Yirmiyahu or Jeremiah 31. See, in verse 31, it says, see, the days are coming. So this was said in Yirmiyahu. They're coming, not there, they're coming, declares Yahuwah, when I shall make a renewed covenant. Many call it new covenant, renewed covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Yehuda. So Christianity teaches this covenant is with them, but it specifically says that the covenant is with Israel and Yehuda. Now, let me keep going. It says, not like the covenant I made with their fathers in the day when I strengthened their hand to bring them out of the land of Mizraim. My covenant which they broke, though I was husband to them, declares Yahuwah. For this is the covenant I shall make with the house of Israel after those days, declares Yahuwah. I shall put my Torah in their inward parts. So that's not changing the Torah. It's not, I guess, putting it away, but it's putting that Torah, his instructions, in their inward parts, not on paper, not out of the voice of men. And so say, okay, put it in their inward parts and write it on their hearts. And I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And no longer shall they teach. Right now, I'm teaching. No longer shall they teach. Each one his neighbor, and each one his brother, saying, know Yahuwah, for they shall know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, declares Yahuwah, for I shall forgive their crookedness and remember their sin no more. So we're dealing with sin right now, and we're dealing with a whole slew of teachers. I'm one moray out of many. So I'm not anything special about me. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but anyway, let's keep going. That's speaking of that. Let's go over here to Hebrews 8 or Ibrahim 8. And so we want to deal, I'm going to start here at 8. So finding fault with them, he says, see, the days are coming. They're coming. This is said after the time of Yahusha. Remember, this is after the time of Yahusha. Many say his death, burial, and resurrection mean it started then. Days are coming. Hebrews is written after that, says Yahuwah. When I shall conclude with the house of Israel and with the house of Yehuda, the same covenant partners. So if it's the same covenant partners as before, what is the change? If I was to remarry my wife, we're probably going to renew our vows eventually. That does not change the vows. It just means that we're refocusing on them. But anyway, and with the house of Yahuda, a renewed covenant, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers. Same lingo. Verbatim, basically. In the day that I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Mizraim. Again, Hebrews is after the death, burial, and resurrection. Because they did not continue in my covenant, and I disregarded them, says Yahuwah. Because this is the covenant that I shall make with the house of Israel after those days, says Yahuwah, giving my laws in their mind. It said heart, mind, and I shall write them on their hearts, and I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. So basically, the delivery system has changed, but it's still the same covenant. It's just renewed, reestablished, and they shall by no means teach each one his neighbor. Again, we are still teaching. I'm teaching right now. And each one of his brothers saying, know Yahuwah. People are being awakened right now. Everybody's not awakened. So if everybody was awakened, okay, we could say we were in a new covenant, but that's not happening. That's happening, but that has not happened. That's not past tense. That is very much present and future. But keep going. Because they shall know me from the least of them to the greatest of them. Does everybody know it? No. Because I shall forgive their unrighteousness and their sin and their lawlessness, I shall no longer remember. By saying renewed, he has made the first old. Now, what becomes old in growing age is near disappearing. The sin and the judgment of sin is disappearing. But let's even hit something completely off of this and give a precept. Ezekiel 36, starting at verse 17, says, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own ways and deeds. This is under the first covenant, before it was renewed. To me, their way was like the uncleanness of a woman in her monthly period, like a menstrual cycle. It was nasty. So I poured out my wrath on them for the blood they had shed on the land, and for their idols they defiled it. And I scattered them among the nations. We're scattered amongst all the nations, and they were dispersed throughout the lands. I have judged them according to their ways and their deeds. And when they came to the nations, wherever they went, they profaned my set-apart name, for it was said of them, these are the people of Yahuwah, and yet they have gone out of his land. We were doing our own thing, and we still are doing our own thing. We are still not in our land. So how can we be in a new covenant and we are still not in our land? We are still teaching, trying to get people awakened. How can we be in the renewed covenant? We're still dealing with that same covenant, still basically unclean like menstrual cycle as a people, as the one son, as the Exodus 4:22. He views the whole nation as one son. Yes, I can say, oh, I follow the Torah. I walk in his instructions, but I am not representative of the whole nation. I am only a piece, a portion. And if one part of the body is corrupted, it corrupts the whole body. If one, basically when you deal with like yeast or whatever, the corrupted part corrupts the whole thing. So you can't, it's not like you're making everything clean. Come on. Yah does that. So let me keep going. But I had compassion on my set apart name. Not just on the people, but on his set apart name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the nations wherever they went. Therefore say to the house of Israel, thus said the master Yahuwah, I do not do this for your sake, O house of Israel, but for my set apart name's sake, which you have profaned among the nations wherever you went. And I shall set apart my great name, which has been profaned among the nations. Again, we ain't in the renewed covenant, which you have profaned in their midst. And the nation shall know that I am Yahuwah, declares the master Yahuwah, when I am set apart in you before their eyes. And I shall take you from among the nations. We are not been called back. And I shall gather you out of all lands, and I shall bring you into your own land. And I shall sprinkle clean water on you, and you shall be clean. The men preaching and teaching, that ain't what's going to make them clean. He going to put his spirit inside of us, in our mind, in our heart, and sprinkle clean water on you, and you shall be clean from all your filthiness and from all your idols. I cleanse you. This is going to be done at one time. It hasn't been done at one time yet. No. Israel has not been renewed and restored. We are not in our land. We got people over there. We have basically Japheth in the tents of Shem going on. And I shall give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. Hold on. Ain't that the new covenant? This has not happened. And I shall give you a new heart and put a new ruach within you. And I shall take the heart of stone out of your flesh. And I shall give you a heart of flesh and put my ruach within you, my spirit within you. And I shall cause you to walk in my laws and guard my right rulings and shall do them. If you're walking in all of the laws, then the punishments are no more. You don't need the punishments or the reprimand anymore because you're doing everything that's necessary. So yes, those things will be passed away because we'll be all walking in the renewed covenant. We are not all walking in the renewed covenant. If you can't see that, if you don't see teaching, something is off with your perspective and your discernment. But let me keep going. And I shall cause you to walk in my laws and guard my right rulings and shall do them. And you shall dwell in the land that I gave your fathers, and you shall be my people, and I shall be your Elohim. That's the renewed covenant right there. It's other texts that say basically the same thing verbatim. You can go to Yeshayahu or Isaiah 66. And right at the end, it says basically the same thing. We are not there yet. And for anyone that teaches that we are there yet, your discernment is off. And somebody needs to challenge you. You are not doing the will of Yah and telling such a set tale to people. Maybe you are operating in a new covenant, but everybody's not. And so if you only focus on you, you are selfish. And you are not doing the will of Yah if you only focus on yourself and not looking at the whole of Israel, the Exodus 4:22 son. Something is wrong with you. All right. Abba Yah, thank you for this. I want to just say this briefly before I go to work. And I thank you for the opportunity and time. May someone get something out of it. I am open for dialogue. But we got to get it together. We got all of these different teachings going left and right. And when you do it, we ain't gonna have none of that problems. I thank you that you're allowing the tares to be with the wheat. Because at times I may be tare. I don't want to be thrown and cast away until you try me and reprove me and clean me up. I don't want to be filthy as menstrual waste. Clean me up. I'm open, Yah. And may the people that hear this be open. Yada Yahuwah. Yada Yahuwah.